everyone. Welcome to the Dear Merity Bride Guide channel. I'm so excited to introduce my great friend Hannah.
Hey!
So Hannah is a recent bride, of course. That's what this channel is all about. But also, she's a friend of mine from many years ago in the bridal industry. So I can't wait to talk about that and what that was like for you as someone in the industry, then becoming a bride yourself.
Right. Yeah, so I actually met Merity during my time working as a bridal consultant at Monique Lullier, and her and I had shared a few brides together, and so I got to know her through them. And when I got engaged and I started planning my wedding and shopping for my dress, I started thinking, well, who's going to be the expert, the stylist for the bridal consultant? And luckily, I had already met Merity and I knew how amazing she was just watching her work through my clients. And so I already knew that I had someone in my corner. And so as soon as the time was right, I called Merity up and we ended up planning the rest of my bridal outfits together.
That's right. That was really fun. And that was an honor for me and really fun for me as well because, of course, I got to be at your wedding as a guest and also working. So I got to wear a nice outfit for once.
Double bonus.
Exactly. So we're going to talk all about the wedding. So stay tuned. So I really want to talk about the gown because how on earth did you decide what to wear for your wedding day? I mean...
Well, I think it was actually interesting because for me it was really easy.
Oh, okay.
Because I had been so exposed to the wedding industry. I mean, for the time that I had been at Monique Lullier, and so I already knew kind of the dress that I wanted. But what I knew is that I needed that expert who was going to be with me. I knew that was really important. So I was so happy to have you with me during like the alterations and the day of, because there's all these, things happening, all these moving parts happening whenever you're planning a wedding. And the last thing I wanted was to have to feel like I was the micromanager. I was, the eagle eye. And take myself out of that.
Right?
No, exactly. And that's why it was so like great to have you there, because I could just forget about being that person,
That's so
leave that at the door, come to my bridal fittings and know that Merity was going to be the eagle eye. She was going to make sure that everything was perfect, all of the fittings, the timeline stayed on track, and that ultimately the day of the wedding I was looking my best.
That's so nice, and you got to be a bride.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for saying that, because that was important for me too, because of course I do that for everyone, but even more so for a friend. I mean, I wanted to make sure that you felt like you had the experience that you wanted.
And
so
it was really priceless. I mean, because I got to enjoy all the moments, even the day of the wedding. I didn't have to worry,
You just got to relax and be really a guest at your own wedding.
Exactly.
Which is nice, because it is hard. I mean, that's the saying, right? The shoemaker with the shoes. It's really hard to remove yourself from what you know. And I've had friends before who will say, "Oh, I want you to come to my wedding as a guest." And I'm like, ha 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 ha. That's not going to happen, because this is what I do. This is what I've been doing my entire life. I'm not going to just sit and have dinner. But it was fun to get dressed up and enjoy, and also do my normal shtick. And I was glad I was there for you.
Oh, I was so happy that you were there for me too.
How about that last minute thing that we did on the morning of the wedding?
Oh my gosh.
That was crazy.
That was maybe like the icing on the cake for me, and the thing that made me so incredibly thankful to have you there the day of the wedding, not only as a friend to be a guest, but actually you were there like helping me into my dress and making sure everything was executed perfectly. Was when I was in my dress, I had my bouquet, I had my veil, and I was feeling really good, but I was looking in the mirror and I was thinking I had gone back and forth, how accessorized do I want to be on my wedding dress? And I ultimately had opted not to do anything on the waist of my dress. But when I was standing there
on the wedding
full
day,
bridal garb, and I was thinking, something is missing. And I was really regretting, not bringing options, at least, because really you do feel different the day of the wedding. And when you see everything, hair, makeup, flowers, you might change the way you feel. So it's always good to have options.
Showtime, right? All of a sudden.
Exactly. And so here comes Merity, and she reaches into her Mary Poppins bag and she pulls out 10 different ribbons. And we find the perfect one. It already has this beautiful
sewed it on right there while you're standing there.
And so I'm literally in my dress, and we have pictures of this too, of Merity sewing this beautiful ribbon sash onto my dress while I'm in my dress.
Right before you got married.
Right before I got married. And it was literally, it made me so happy. I felt so polished and confident and pretty. And So
I
that
love
was
that.
really
That was
your hero
Yay!
moment
Oh,
of the
you know
day.
me, I loved our hero moment. Well, that's great. Well, I'm so glad you came today. It was so fun talking to you. And let's let everyone see some of your wedding pictures.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay, so let's take a look at your gorgeous wedding photos.
Yeah, so our photographer, who is also a good friend of ours, Caroline Tran, took some beautiful pictures of the wedding day. And one of my favorites was actually this photo of you sewing me into my dress.
That's right.
Beautiful ribbon sash onto my waist. And it really was the icing on the cake moment.
So I'm so glad that happened because I don't know if you even knew, but that was a vintage ribbon that I've been carrying around in my kit probably for 20 years. So it was waiting for a special moment.
That makes so much sense because it was so pretty and
good.
special.
I'm so glad. That's wonderful. And look at all the other beautiful photos. And here's your dress. Looks like you're about to get bustled in this picture.
Yeah, so that was the other thing is I opted not to have any bridesmaids on my wedding day and wanted all of my friends and family just to be able to enjoy themselves. So it was important for me to have someone who knew, the fabrication and construction of the gown, was able to do the bustle for me during the reception. And of course, that person was
me again. So thank you again so much for including us on your special day and for sharing these beautiful pictures. So thanks everybody. Take care.